They sit on pedals and they lit them on fire and started throwing them at the ring at me.
Walt would cause the normally polite Japanese wrestling audience to start a riot. You won't believe the backstory Inoki created to debut Vader as an unstoppable samurai connected to the gods. How an actor, comedian personality, Takeshi Kitano, maybe some American fans remember him from MXC from Spike TV, brought the American monster pro wrestler into New Japan to face Antonio Inoki. Takeshi Kitano had been feuding with Inoki and was being portrayed as the person bringing in Vader to take Inoki out. The show was to be the first appearance of the famous comedian/actor. This event for New Japan Pro Wrestling was held at Sumo Hall. New Japan felt pressure from TV Asahi's dropping ratings. They needed to shake things up, so they brought in Big Van Vader, who had been wrestling as Leon White, also known as Baby Bull, over in AWA. All Japan Pro Wrestling had success bringing in American wrestlers, so Inoki followed suit. Inoki wanted a larger-than-life, unbeatable supervillain, hoping this would revive New Japan Pro Wrestling and breathe new life into the promotion. The debut of Vader did just that, but it would take some time for this to pay off. How Antonio Inoki created the monster known as Big Van Vader, unbeatable in the ring except for by death itself. The Vader name traces back from a samurai warrior named Wada. Legend has it Wada Yoshimura once had great strength and defeated the Lord of Hell to open a pathway to heaven. Vader was a feared samurai from an ancient Japanese tribe. In ancient Japan, disputes between towns were settled in a showdown on a tiny remote island. The towns sent their best fighters, and the warriors fought day and night non-stop in a last man standing match scenario until only one man survived. Vader emerged as the ultimate warrior. According to his backstory, his most legendary battle supposedly lasted a staggering 72 hours, with both combatants meeting their end at each other's feet. This story is heavily inspired by the famous ill-fated 1612 Musashi and Kojiro duel. New Japan Pro Wrestling crafted an imposing metallic headpiece for Vader. Resembling the battle armor of samurai warriors, it looked both ancient and futuristic. Leon White, recalling the design, described it as nothing short of awe-inspiring. He treated it like a mythical entity, holding ceremonies where he knelt before the helmet, hoping it would release its steam into the air. The helmet, adorned with glowing eyes, concealed CO2 tanks and a motorized engine that emitted dramatic steam effects. When asked if he could ever part with it, Vader revealed it resided in his basement with a hefty price tag of 50 to 75 grand. Inoki contacted the artist Kiyoshi Nagai, better known as Go Nagai, who would go on to create Jushin Thunder Liger. Under the instruction of Inoki, Nagai created Big Van Vader. Inoki commissioned Nagai to create a dark samurai warrior from Japanese folklore. What exactly led to the riot caused by Japanese wrestling fans in Sumo Hall on December 27, 1987? I've stumbled upon two different versions of this story. One suggests that fans rioted out of sheer fury because Inoki lost in under 2 minutes without landing a single blow on Vader. However, the more plausible narrative suggests that the crowd's outrage stemmed from the disappointment of not witnessing the highly anticipated main event between Inoki and Riki Choshu, which was the primary draw for the ticket sales. It's also the reason the live gate was around $500,000 from 11,000 fans. Vader had been announced for a tag match, but before the match could begin, Takashi's friend took the mic and challenged Inoki, which caused unrest in the audience, leading them to hurl eggs, programs, and beer cans at the ring upon realizing the change in the scheduled match. Choshu wound up replacing Vader in the tag match, fueling the audience's anger. And as the fans hated everything about it and screamed for the match to stop, Choshu didn't leave after the tag match. In an unexpected turn of events, Inoki said he would wrestle both Vader and Choshu. The highly anticipated showdown between Inoki and Choshu finally took place, in a match lasting just 6 minutes. Inoki emerged victorious after causing Choshu to bleed by slamming his head into the ring post. Inoki then applied the octopus submission hold, prompting Hiroshi Hase to intervene and save Choshu, resulting in Inoki winning by disqualification. This led to a small riot, as fans felt cheated, especially considering the price of admission. As tension simmered, Vader made his entrance, led by Masa Saito, towering at 6'2" and weighing 370 pounds. Adorned with his distinctive mastodon helmet, the crowd's confusion quickly turned to shock as Vader swiftly beat Inoki in under 2 minutes. This defeat marked a significant moment, as some claim it was Inoki's first loss in 2 years and only his second loss in a decade. Vader's aggression didn't end with the match. He continued his assault on Inoki. He took out young boys and continued to stomp the head of Inoki. Fans began setting their seat cushions ablaze and hurling them into the ring like frisbees. Riot itself took police an hour to stop. Masashi Ito cut Vader's locker room celebration short by saying, "You've got to get out of here. Fans will be back here in the locker room any minute, and they want your ass." Vader's claim of instant popularity contrasts with reports that he struggled to connect with the audience, despite his victory over Inoki. This setback was compounded when TV Asahi demoted New Japan Pro Wrestling's programming to a less desirable time slot, resulting in a reduced revenue and salary cuts for wrestlers. I've found a few stories saying New Japan was banned from Sumo Hall for years after this event. The reality was a temporary suspension lasting around 8 months, as reported by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer on June 20th, 1988. Digging through multiple stories and tales of this event, it seems the real reason for the riot was because Inoki refused to give the fans what they really wanted, which was a competitive match between himself and Choshu. In return, the usually reserved Japanese wrestling fans let their true feelings be known, leaving us with one of the wildest wrestling stories / legends to be found. If you enjoyed that video, check out this one.